Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I just read a real cool meme. Respect. Martial arts does not teach you how to fight. It teaches you why not to. Yeah, my greatest sensei, teacher, total guru in judo. Could have totally messed people up, but he didn't. Now, his understudy, this guy was a mental monster as far as he was not refined in his restraints. He had no dignity. He was not humble towards another human. You could feel his intent was ill oozing out of him. When I had to throw him one time, and I know he wanted to kill me. First, he didn't think I was going to be able to, but I learned the techniques. I learned how. But then I could just feel this sense of yuck coming out. That's the type of person that actually will lose a match because they're not all there like that. They're not honorable. That's what I'm saying. An honorable person, first off, they're not going to spar with you to hurt you, but a dirty one will. So, anyway, it's going to be for supper buffalo chicken wraps here. I've got, I made fajita chicken strip, but I've got too much. So I'm going to make it into something different with some lettuce. I'm going to turn the chicken into buffalo flavor and then just put it in a wrap with some lettuce and blue cheese dressing or sour cream, whatever Doug wants. So, yeah. I made some strawberry preserves and homemade bread yesterday. We had the dish guy come out for our internet service, and he installed a bigger dish, brand new one, and our service has been really great for a day. So we'll see how that goes after that, so. This morning I was listening to, let me see if I can, couple things. I don't know if I shared one. No, I didn't. The last one, Sacred Geometry and Divine Alchemy with Robert Seffer, is a good one. And, excuse me. There was one I was going to share, but I didn't know if I had shared it to my community. I will. This is interesting by a Stoica. I watched it pretty early this morning. The first necromancer, how a medieval sorcerer combined astrology and black magic. Now, I would never and do not ever recommend any kind of magic for anybody. If you can see magic within the world that God creates, hey, cool. That's where that sacred geometry comes in. Other than that, whoever believes what, I don't really care. I'm not on board with your witchcraft ever. So, I don't practice nothing. God gives me gifts I don't have to practice. That's a fact. So, yeah, I don't take too kindly to people involved in manipulation of our realm of existing right now, right here. That's not what we're here for at all. So I won't speak well of people doing that, is what I'm saying, especially the ones that have used it on me. It's like, oh yeah, excuse me now, if you don't want to hear any bad language, I'll try to curb it a little bit, but this is my feeling. Oh yeah, you tried to kill me with your black magic? Now watch this. I'm going to pray to my Father that you come into that understanding and the feeling that you tried to put on me. That's as graceful as I can get after hundreds of tries towards my life. So, no, there's not a lot of grace left hanging on there, but any that there is from God. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, this is how I feel when people try to kill me. I don't know if that's backwards. It's a die. A dice with different things on it. So anyway, I have it set just right. I have a yellow 300 towards me and my wild on top by my micro car. So, like I said, I have a whole set of micro minis. It's an anniversary set of Hot Wheels, and they're so cute. I mean, the detail in it there. I've got a fire engine and little teeny guys. That it's a set, like what I've been waiting for, the perfect kid. Really, like my step grandson was here when he was 9, and I gave him, well, Doug gave him the case, and we gave him like all kinds of Hot Wheels, and I had some Thomas the Trains. He just loved Thomas the Train, so I gave him these sets. So I am waiting for the right child to come along for certain toys that I have that I got with them in mind. It's a true thing. So, and I know it's not for Doug and it wasn't for me, but I bought Doug this Hot Wheel thing called a volcano blowout, and you run your car into the volcano and it shoots it out of the top. And he couldn't stand it. He couldn't stand running cars because he's a body man. He fixes cars, and if it were to chip the paint on even a perfect little example of a vehicle, it bothered him, you know? So, and I don't blame him because that's what he does. So, yeah, we got, like this, for instance, you wouldn't think, well, you'd think, well, $10 not a big deal, but if you, it's dusty, but if you go somewhere, and you sell one thing that's worth $10, and you've got 100 of them or more, there's 2 horses in there in my Winnebago. And you bring them out of the ramp. I mean, the detail in a Hot Wheel for a kid to play with, it's not just a toy. If you see what I'm saying, when I was a kid, that was, and even now, and the whole chassis comes off. You can make it into a flatbed. Oh, or did I wreck it? No, I didn't. Oh, it goes back on. Come on. So then I say I can make it back into a flatbed, or I mean a Winnebago. It's supposed to snap back in there. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you. I've got a bigger set of 2 white horses too. One's grazing and the other one's prancing, like cantering and grazing. The detail in little things, right? But You do have to put the horses in first. It doesn't fit without putting them in first. Okay, wait. And that's waiting for the right child, too. I do know who she is. I've just got it for some time. I'll wash it up. It's like brand new. So when I went and got things, I wasn't, I have people in mind. One of them isn't even born yet, but I see it in my vision. So, yeah. And same with that volcano blowout. So I knew someday that's going to one of Doug's offsprings that he doesn't have yet. So, yeah. So not much new here. I have more dolls, actually. I have little things like from the 1950s. Now, this is a really cool little thing. It looks like a monkey. It's only about as big as my hand. And that sucks its thumb, and it's called Chi Chi Thumb Sucker. And my son Jonathan has a huge Chi Chi. Luke did, but his got wrecked. And my friend actually, and my mom made one of them, my adopted mom, for him. Probably's got spell casting shit on it. I'm not kidding. And a friend of mine made each one of my sons a big pound puppy, and it had a necklace or a dog collar with a heart on it in silver with their names on it. And when I lived in Arizona, she sent them down to me, which was really cool. How sweet, right? She went a little crazy. I'll tell you about this. This is crazy. She's not strong enough to battle the dark force, but she was around a lot of bad stuff. One of them, like, her parents weren't tough either. Her dad was not real tough. Well, and I worked with him. Our moms worked together. Well, okay, back to the story. She was in her room, and her husband got into the biking scene, motorcycles, and somebody was in their house that they had let come stay there, and he killed her husband in front of her and her children, and she went out of her mind. Basically, that's the gist of the whole thing. So, sadly, last time I saw her, she wasn't holding it together too well, and she kind of caved on her strength of her faith and her hope, and her values, her morals were slipping. I thought, yeah, another one bites the dust. But I think without that, she would have been okay. I mean, she didn't drink or smoke or nothing. She just got weakened by everything around her. Pummeled, when you grow up in the church like she did. I met her outside of a church, and then we found out that our parents worked together, our moms. And later her dad was my school bus driver, or thereabouts. And then I worked for the same school district, so I actually worked with all of them. But, yeah. So anyway. But her husband came from a little bit different of a ilk. Like, for instance, his little brother adult's name was Billy, was out on this little town street, 100 people, and he was 4 years old in his underwear drinking a beer. I walked up, I'm like 15, I walk up, I go, "What do you think you're doing, you little brat?" I grabbed that, "Hey, give me that." I said, psh, I poured it out and threw the can in the garbage. It's like, not doing that around me, little freak. He was calling me names and stuff. I said, "Go in the house, you're naked," you know. So he never forgot that. And then years later, we worked together at a trucking farm, and I worked with his sister and his older brother, but I went to school with the older brother too. He was older than me, but then the older sister too was a secretary at our school. But we all had worked at this trucking farm too, through the years, couple different times for me. But yeah, anyway. Just kind of shooting the breeze with you here. I did share, like I said, that necromancer thing and medieval sorcery. It's kind of good to understand what the people that think they wield some kind of dark power are doing out in this world. And with the sacred geometry from Robert Seffer, he's always got info-packed videos, and this one in particular is one of my favorite subjects with sacred geometry and that. So in the Fibonacci sequence and that, so which is neat to understand. From the seed of life, you know, the one little seed could make the many, how that works in there, in our realm, in our matter, our plane of existence, you know. So, yeah. So, yeah, I was a pretty big toy collector until I got on the scene and understood. I went to toy shows and couple conventions and stuff and found out what a lot of them were affiliated with, and it was like, I can't believe it. Everywhere I turn, there's nothing but, well, maybe nothing but there's a whole lot of child predation going on this planet. And I really am out to protect the kids. I'm out to teach younger adults anything that's in my brain or heart that can help and that can be passed on verbally without, like, I saw a great meme over on my Facebook that maybe I'll share it. It was, or I think I shared it because it was so great. Let me see. Read it word for word for you. Maybe I did. I think I did. One I shared I liked. It has a girl in front of a lion. It says, "Because I'm the good girl that can tame the beast." But maybe I didn't share what I was talking about. No, I didn't. It was something. Maybe I'll get to what I was thinking it was. I like this one. It's got a picture of, looks like Jane Goodall and Mahatma Gandhi, but it's Gandhi for sure. And some woman, photographer, she said, "I'm in love with you." Gandhi said, "I don't deserve your love, but my brother behind you, who is younger and more handsome, does." She looked back and saw no one. Gandhi said, "If you were in love with me, you wouldn't have looked back." That's wonderful. How witty and sly. Love it. Oh, let me see now. What was that about? Oh, yeah. verbal stories that were passed on without the theologians and the scholars and the other, like the natives passed on their stories word for word. You had to get it right when you're telling a story. You can't embellish or take away. You have to say exactly how your elder taught you to pass it on to the next generation. No matter in what culture, there are those people that are wise that will pass these little tidbits on to the next generation that's never been written in a book, and it cannot be tampered with. That's where we get the absolute truth out of a lot of things in life. I believe that too. So I'm driving myself crazy. I am going to go wash my hands because I grabbed my dusty little toys. So I can't stand it. I really can't. My OCD is nuts like that. Somebody else probably, well, yeah, then I should dust. I do. I usually do. But not every little. See, I got a desk that's a secretary that's got little compartments for letters, and it's one where the top goes up and it's got the drawer underneath, and then um, a work area and whatever. So yeah, I just like the top of it and my electronics and stuff, but not the little compartments every day. So yeah, so that's driving me crazy. I'm gonna go wash my hands and my mouse now, because it probably, like I say, might not bother a lot of people, but that's the way I am. So, okay, everybody, I appreciate you joining me. I was going to kind of make it short anyway. I want to finish watching that one video I'm watching too, but that's about it for today anyway. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.